pawn to grab space.
Yep.
You need pawns to push forward and take away squares. Look at this, the knight on h5. It didn't have a square before, it was on g7 stuck. Now the h-file is open, the bishop on d7.
Is beautiful.
Nihal is coming back in this game, and I'm really starting to like his position.
Yep.
MVL has not made progress for a long time.
No, if anybody's position is improving, it's Nihal's. The rook on e5, flexible to recapture on h5. He's probably at the point, Eric, where he's even considering queen takes on h5, offering a queen trade while down a pawn. That's how good his position is, how much it's improved over the last couple moves. I still think that rook takes h5 is the right idea. I'm also wondering, at what point is Maxime starting to get concerned here? Because the bishops are just looking really scary. The h3 pawn is a huge target in the position. Yes, he can defend it. Rook g3, bring the rook to g1, but all of a sudden, feels like he's on the defensive.
He's on the defense because he hasn't done anything. He's actually shuffled his king to g2, to h2, and when we're looking at these rook takes h5 positions, I don't even know if I want my king on h2 because, as you mentioned, that pawn is pinned. White needs to incorporate this bishop on c2 in the game. Even the knight on d4, it looks pretty there, but it's not helping defend. It's not going to e6. He's not converting. He's not putting Nihal under pressure. I think at the right moment, MVL is looking towards knight e6. Knight e6, shutting off that light squared bishop. Then you don't have to worry about h3. Then you get a passed pawn there if black takes, and your bishop on c2 goes to b3. He's realized it because the last 5-10 moves have not been good.
And you know what? This might have been a move born of desperation. Oh, this is how I block the bishop from attacking my h3 pawn. But it's great for him. It's worked out. It's one of the best moves in the position, and it's really hard to avoid capturing. So yes, you need to take it. Yes, there's opposite bishops, but Eric, this game is far from drawn, far from equal. I think you can play bishop b3, but more importantly, rook d to g1, put some pressure on the g6 pawn. You're trying to force maybe g5 to be played, and the light squares become even weaker.
Yes, if you weaken the light squares, that light squared bishop will become only stronger. I do want to play bishop b3. I want to play king g2, but I think first things first, why not defend the e6 pawn?
Yeah, bishop b3 certainly does that. Queen g4 as well, but you know, these moves are a little bit slower. You have to watch out long range for your f2 pawn. h4.
You know what? This is impressive. I said bishop b3. MVL recognizes you're going to attack my pawn on h3 by placing your queen on h6. Now my rooks are set up properly. I'm going to attack you.
h4 looks incredibly strong. I mean, first glance, queen takes h4, loses. You can play rook to h3. And if pawn takes, I mean, just the move rook to g6 alone is really scary. Now, before you can do anything here, Eric, you have to get rid of that pin. So rook h3, exactly. You have to get rid of the queen, pressuring the king on h2. Now the threat is obvious. Pawn takes on g5. He's looking to trade everything off.
G to g3 is an interesting move here because then you're ready to take on g5. Maybe Nihal plays queen g6. So rook g1 to g3, maybe bishop b3 first, but all of a sudden, MVL has the initiative.
And he's playing really well at this point. All it took was that idea, knight e6. Once he played that, everything sort of fell into place. I do think that queen g6 makes sense because otherwise, the only move to keep the h-file closed, Eric, is pawn to g4. It's just a ridiculous move, but what else do you do?
You have to play queen g6. You can't give up a second pawn.
There you go. We're wondering whether he's going to take right away. You know, another move that's on my mind is king g2, just to shuffle the king over, get off those dangerous lines, protect f2, but he's got all the time in the world right now.
I really want to defend f2 because I never want this bishop on a7 to get into the game.
Yeah.
We can't allow it to take on f2. Then it starts harassing the pieces. As long as that bishop, it's looking pretty on a7, but at the end of the day, black is down a pawn, white's queen, 2 rooks are all in the game. I see a deficit here that's going to be very hard to come back from.
Yeah, and one of the moves I was considering next was, let's move the queen. I'm not sure where. Maybe queen d3, queen g4, and play f4. It's the only other move that we haven't really activated. And I tell you, the rook on e5 is the main piece I want to get rid of.
MVL saying, I have safety on the light squares. If you give me a check on g1, I play king e2. This is a sharp way of dealing with it. It might not be the most precise, but the players are low on time. And look at that, rook check.
Oh, that's a huge move. That's a huge move. Rook g2, long range, the bishop from a7. We were saying you can't let it activate. Indirectly, it has. It's part of the position now. Rook g2.
You might have to play rook g3 here. Can you really afford to allow rook takes f2? I said we didn't want the bishop on a7 in the game. It's in the game now. MVL's missed this move. And if rook g3 is played, that forces an opposite bishop endgame potentially.
Yeah, and I think he might have to do it. Now, you could allow rook takes f2 without your queen there, but Okay, rook h6.
What a find. Keeps the queens on the board.
That's huge. I still think insane progress from Nihal. He's made a big comeback.
He's made a big comeback. His goal is to make sure white's queen never penetrates and coordinates with the e6 pawn to set up a mating net.
Yep.
That's not very easy to do with the queen on h6. Nihal could have played king e7. He's playing queen h5 check, asking, if you play f3, that's only strengthening the dark squares for Nihal. Then he'll play queen back to h6.
Yep.
He's provoking f3, then he goes queen h6, then look at that e3 square.
Exactly. You want that pawn on f2 here, so you have to move your king. Of course, there's queen f3, but the reason we're not even considering this is if you trade queens, Eric, I think we're basically progressing to a position that has an amazing chance to just be a draw. Instead, he's going with the king into the center. King d3. This shows that he's playing for a win.
I think he might play c4 here, but then there might be queen b. Is queen b6 playable?
Queen b6, yeah, c5.
Queen e5 is good, actually. That's just as, it's even better. It defends f6, and you're looking at that d4 square.
Oh, this is trouble now. The queen is getting involved. Queen d4 is there. Even, I mean, queen g6 has to happen before white's making a threat. You're also hitting the e-pawn.
There's no time here. Nihal can start checking on the back. Is MVL going for a king walk, just like Anish?
Yeah, and remember, this is going to be very effective on the light squares. That's the thing about opposite bishops. Great control of the dark squares for black, the opposite for white. He also has c4 and e7 check at some point to open the diagonal.
But there's no immediate threat yet for MVL, so maybe Nihal plays a move like queen d2. And queen d2 is played because you recognize queen g6 doesn't work. There's queen takes f2. What kind of waiting move, what kind of stabilizing move can MVL play here?
He plays e7. I was wondering if, okay, queen g7 is the obvious follow-up, but also the move c5 is in the position.
Yeah, you can't play king e6. You can't play king e6.
Yep, I love the move c5. Right now, it locks
and here
the bishop
comes c5,
out.
and
There's no queen takes f2.
How do you stop? Okay, so after d takes c5, I think, what is the move? Is it queen f7 check and bishop e6? You can take pawns with check. All of a sudden, the tables have flipped. The question is, can MVL dodge the checks?
Okay, he found a way to trade. Takes on c5, but the two pawns connected, Eric.
It's even material, but it's, as you said, it's about the connected pawns. Can Nihal defend what looks to be a very tough position with 33 seconds?
And Eric, I know we're not this far ahead right now, but the a pawn and the bishop coordinate perfectly on the a8 square. It's the correct color, which means if the bishop sacrifices for the two pawns here, oh my goodness, we just got a lot of moves. c2, there's king d3.
Oh, MVL. No, Nihal's found a concrete line.
What a save.
You have to play bishop c2 here, but then there's no time.
But how is the time working out? Because MVL can flag this, and he's most certainly will.
He's up 15 seconds. He's got split pawns. Nihal has no counterplay.
I think this could be a win, but Nihal, this is where he thrives, Eric. You literally cannot count him out after what we just saw.
He's down 13 seconds, but look at the way he's playing. Is he going to march down the board?
I wonder. He can also
He can't go too far.
Yeah.
He can't allow that a-pawn to push.
King d5, he's not letting the king get around. Now with the pawn push, this is different. He's going after the pawn. Are we going to see a flag take place?
MVL has to flag him. He's got 10 seconds. Nihal's down to 8 seconds, but he's pre-moving like a madman.
Yeah, if he makes 50 moves, he can earn a draw. He's found the perfect repetition.
Well,
what?
MVL,
What was that?
What is he doing? Well, he could have kept playing him on. He could have made things hard. If Nihal had the other position, he would have looked for every single tricky move, and he would have started moving his king to chase away the bishop. There's no risk. There's no reason at all